Life's a gamble, cars in the air. Stack decks cheating, but nobody cares. You hustle or fold, that's the game we play. The dealer's blind to the price we pay. Life's a gamble, a hot topic today. Roll the dice, but the odds never sway. Talk about it, fight about it, find a way. Life's a gamble every single day. Politicians lie while the streets stay raw. Laws get written, but who writes the law? Rich stay climbing, poor dig deep. Dreams so cheap while the shadows creep. Hey, money is power, so they say. But what's the cost when your soul's in play? Life's a gamble, a hot topic today. Roll the dice, but the odds never sway. Talk about it, fight about it, find a way. Life's a gamble every single day. What will you do when the stakes rise high? When the truth's a whisper and the world's a lie. Better know your line, what you won't cross. A win's no win when your soul is lost. Yeah. I'm D in the plug. Yeah. Tune in the day and the word to the wise. If you don't know what you will do for money, you better know what you won't do for it. You better know what you won't do for it. Yeah.
What's happening? What's good, y'all? What's good? How y'all doing on this Monday night? I think it is. Yeah, it's a Monday night, y'all. How y'all doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. For those who's already watching, and for those who's to come in the future, thank you also, even though you may not hear it. I'm glad to be here with y'all tonight, y'all. I got a little something I want to discuss. Some real life shit, some grown folk shit that I want to get off of my chest. I'm sure a lot of y'all probably can understand what I'm about to talk about, because it goes on a lot in the black community. Now, this is what I'm about to talk about tonight. I'm particularly talking to black people, but everybody is welcome to come and engage in the conversation. But this conversation is particularly for my people. What's good? How you doing, Lashana Hinton? How you doing? Go on that YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Yeah. Oh, yeah. As y'all come on in, y'all go over there and hit that subscribe button to that YouTube channel. Because eventually I'm going to stop streaming on Facebook, all right? So y'all go hit that button for your boy. I hope you're having a blessed night, though. Obviously, you know who I am, and I can't really see a picture right now on this thing. I'm using a third-party source, so I'm not really just streaming on Facebook, you feel me? But yeah, a lot of things been bothering me, y'all. I think, like I said, this conversation is for all groups and all races. I'm just particularly talking to my black people. I'm talking to the nigga nation, you hear me? I'm talking to the nigga nation tonight. Because I think this happens more in our community than any other community. Y'all see the title? The title is, why do people feel the need to have to shit on each other instead of uplifting each other? You know, it's amazing how people, they get up in life and they just switch up on you. You can have two damn friends. They've been walking with each other for years, 5, 6 years, walking to the neighborhood store, walking to your local Dollar General. Oh, what's good? Okay. What's good? So they could be walking to the local Dollar General, walking to the, friend's house, their whole childhood. And one of the friends may finally get a vehicle. And this same friend that you've been walking with ride past you and pretend they don't even know who you are because they feel like they done got a vehicle. Now they're up here. You forgot who your friend was when you was walking with them. So this is basically what I'm about to discuss tonight, how people switch up on you, how successful people in life look down on others. And what inspired me to talk about this tonight is I have a friend of mine told me that they was at a store and this guy asked some adults for like some money. He explained to him why he needed the money. He wanted some money to buy a little cheap phone so he could do some job applications. And he needed a phone so the job, if they wanted to call him to hire him, they would have a number to call. And the person who witnessed this accident told me that the people, now this was a black guy asking for the money, and the black people was, looking down on him. Now, those same people that are looking down on him, no matter how successful they may be, everybody always have help going up. You're gonna have help going up. And you better have help. You better hope that you have help when you're on your way down. So those people who look down on that guy forgot where they come from and forgot where they may have to have some help to reach the point that they wanted to get to. Now, a lot of people don't understand. Like I said, I'm talking to my black people. The nigga nation. The nigga nation. Y'all realize we are the only nation that don't have a military. We don't have a country to defend us. Only thing we have is ourselves. We only have ourselves. The nigga nation only have ourselves. We don't have a military. Every nation that you can think of, even the smallest nation, have a military to defend their well-being. And if we don't have any unity, and now, like I said, I'm sure this goes on in other groups, other races too. I'm sure people get up in life and they shit on you. I mean, Donald Trump is an example for the white community. Donald Trump is a good example of somebody getting up and then shitting on everybody who's below him. But now, this guy who was asking for this money to get a cell phone to do job applications and to receive a call in case they wanted to hire him, guess what he could have been doing, y'all? Guess what he could have been doing? He could have been sticking their ass up. He could have been robbing them. He could have been taking what he wanted. But he told them he wanted to buy a cheap phone to do some job applications. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You want to look down on a guy that want to do something positive with his life? Trying to build his way up? You know, you got to take one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs help. So we got to stop shitting on each other, stop looking down on each other. If we ain't got each other, who the fuck do we have? If we ain't got each other, who do we have? Who can we call on? Somebody tell me. I'm gonna skip the subject. I'm gonna skip this subject for a minute, and I'm gonna talk about the lack of respect that people have too, that I've noticed in our community. I was in the store shopping the other day, and one of my homeboys came in the store, and in line was a elderly white lady. You had a couple of black people, but you had this one lady. She had her granddaughter. I'm assuming it was her granddaughter because this was an elderly lady and a little bitty young girl. And my homeboy coming up doing all this cursing and foul language and shit. I said, hey, bro, hey, man, don't you see, first of all, don't you see this elderly lady right here? And not only that, do you see this little bitty young 10, 11-year-old girl, bro? If you want to talk to me like that, I know how we talk amongst each other. Talk to me like that when we get outside. You ain't got to be using all that fire. It wasn't no animosity towards us. It was just how we communicate. Like only us understand how we communicate. But that little girl couldn't understand that. And I remember her, I never forget the look that she looked up and gave her grandmother. Like, what the, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like some people can't even have a dialogue. Some people can't even have a damn conversation without using curse words. You ain't always got to use curse words just to express what you're trying to say. Especially as an adult, you should be able to articulate your damn self without using that foul language, especially when you're around certain people. What are we doing in the hood amongst ourselves? Cool, but you got to know how to separate that shit. You got to know how to separate it. You know what I mean? So let me stay on topic, y'all. Oh, thanks for coming in and watching, y'all. I appreciate y'all's support. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please do that for your boy. All right, y'all. So we know life isn't always fair. Sometimes life give us cards. You know, we get their cards that we just don't know how to use or whatever. And we have to rock with what we got. You have to make use of what you have. And life is hard out here, y'all. As an individual person, and especially a person with kids. And some people may have elderly people that they have to take care of. So life can be difficult. You know what I'm saying? But as a group amongst our black people, we should help each other try and help make each other's lives a little bit more comfortable. I'm not saying you got to go pay nobody bills. I'm not saying you got to do everything a person asks. But goddamn, can we have some kind of consideration for the person who's not as fortunate as we are? Can we have some type of damn consideration? I go to these stores all the time and I hear people talking bad about like the people who's asking for money in front of the store. They having a bad situation. Don't think it can't happen to you. If you think it can't happen to you, you're a damn fool. So, all right, so what if I told you the person that you laugh at today, the person that you laughing at today might be fighting a battle that you wouldn't even be able to survive? What if the person that you judge was just one decision away from changing their life forever? And what if one day you became that person? Stay with me now. Stay with me, y'all. By the end of this video, you might never look at people the same way again. You know, we live in a world where judging people is normal. We live in that type of world where judging people is normal. You see somebody struggling, you assume they're lazy, don't want to work. You see somebody, you assume they broke. You assume they made bad decisions and bad choices in life. You see somebody at their lowest. And instead of asking what happened, you ask what's wrong with them. But here's the truth. Here's the truth that nobody want to admit. Most people, a lot of us, we one bad moment from losing everything. We one bad moment away from losing everything. A job loss, a medical bill, a betrayal, a mistake. And suddenly, you the same person that you was whispering about, talking down on. Let me tell y'all a little story. There was a man sitting on the sidewalk, had on dirty clothes, holding up a sign. And people was walking past him every day walking past him. Some laughed, some ignored him, some even judged him. You could hear him saying, he's probably lazy. He did this to himself. But one day somebody stopped. One day someone stopped. And instead of judging him, they asked him a simple question. What happened to you? That's what we need to do. Instead of judging somebody, ask them what happened. Try to get an understanding of what somebody's going through before you can judge somebody. So the man, he paused. He paused as he was asked that question, and he said, I used to be a business owner. And everybody looked at each other like, what? Everybody looked at each other, a business owner. Everything went silent. He said he had a house. He said they had a family, a career, until it can all happen in one moment. In one moment. He had all that, a family, career, house, until that one day his wife got sick. So the medical bills piled up on him. That's what he told us. He said the medical bills piled up on him, so he had to sell everything to try to save her, which is a righteous thing, and I salute him. So he sold everything they had to try to save her life. And when she passed away, he had nothing left. No home, no support, no second chance. Now ask yourself this question. How many people walk past him without knowing his story? How many people walk past him? You can imagine hundreds of thousands of people. You know how many people go in and out the damn curb stores? A lot of people walk past him without even knowing his story. But the truth is, you don't see people's story. You only see their situation. And that's where the judgment begins. Because you don't know their story, you only see their situation, so you base your judgments among people. And a lot of people judge someone because it makes them feel safe. If you believe someone is struggling because they're lazy, then you can convince yourself that could never be you. If you believe someone is struggling because they're lazy, then you convince yourself that could never be you. But life don't work like that, y'all. That is not the way life works. You tell yourself, that could never be me. That's what you tell yourself. You tell yourself, oh, I can never get cancer. I can never have a heart attack. That could never be me. But life don't work like that. Life doesn't ask you for permission. Life does not ask you for permission. It doesn't care how strong you think you are. Life can flip your everything can be flipped overnight. Everything you had going on can be flipped overnight. And then you finally understand what that person that you was whispering about was going through. I'm gonna tell you another story. There was this woman. Everybody called her a failure. Everybody called her a failure. She lost a job. She moved back in with her family, without, her parents or whatever. She struggled to pay her bills. You know what I'm saying? Like most people do. So people talked about her. Everybody talked about her. So they say she's done. She had her chance and such. She's done. She'll never recover. But what they didn't see was the nights she stayed up. She was learning new skills. Even in tears, she had rejection. And years later, she built something from nothing. A business, a life, a comeback. And I salute her. And those same people who judged her, now say, it's crazy. It's crazy how people is. Those same people who laughed at her, once she bounced back, them same damn people say, oh, I believed in you. I always believed in you. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is they didn't. The truth is they did not believe in her. They kind of applauded when she was down. But when she get up, you want to pretend like you fucking supported her. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are so fucking phony and fake. Judgment is loud. Judgment is very, very, very loud. But struggle is silent. I'm going to say that again. Judgment is loud, but struggle is silent. That person that you see, the person that you see that looks lost, might be rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? The one who the person that you may feel look weak, you know what I'm saying? Might be surviving something unimaginable. You understand that? The one who looked like they failed might be one step away from success. But you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that because you judged the chapter without reading the whole story. You judged the chapter without reading the whole fucking story. Now, if I'm saying anything wrong here tonight, y'all let me know. Y'all get in the comment section, share the video, hit that subscribe button. You judge the chapter without reading the whole story. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Have you ever been at your lowest? Have you ever been at your lowest? If you never been at your lowest, you can never understand what somebody feel or what they going through. Let me read some of these comments. I see some people comment. Let me see what's going on. What's up? What's up, Trevon? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me read some of these. Some people toast to your pain and struggle. What's up, Trevon? He said, hey, man. Yeah. So, let me get back on topic. So yeah, let me ask you something. Let me ask y'all a question. Have you ever been at your lowest? And if you can't say you've never been at your lowest, then you can never understand what a person is going through. Have you ever needed somebody to understand instead of judge? And if you have, I want you to remember that feeling. Remember that same feeling. Because one day, someone else will be in that same position. In that moment. And you get to decide. You get to decide, will you be that person who judged them? Read the comment. Fifi said, bro, a lot of this go deeper than people realize. We come from systems that tied worth to excess and attach shame to lack. But for real, sometimes what you don't have ain't about what you're not doing. And sometimes what you do have ain't about what you did. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I mean, I get disgusted with people looking down. I ain't never had a lot. And even when I was in grade school where the kids pick on each other, I never was one of those kids to look down on other kids because they was wearing a certain type of shoes. You know, sometimes I may have had some name brand shoes, but throughout my whole childhood, no, I didn't. So I couldn't see myself because I knew the struggle. And then again, a shoe with a name on it, a shoe with a symbol on it, it doesn't mean shit. And in 6 months, them same shoes can be ruined. You go outside and play in them a couple of times, they ruin. So why do people cherish and worship this materialistic shit it's nothing. $100 bill you put out your pocket, maybe it's paper. And it have no value. They have no value. But people get caught up into this, I'm gonna just say, fuck it. I'm gonna say this European society to where we feel like we gotta look a certain way. We gotta have a certain status in life. We gotta dress this way. We gotta talk this way. We gotta act this way just to fit in with another group of people, and we don't even appreciate our own self. We don't even appreciate what we got going on. You got a lot of girls that don't even want to wear natural hair because they can't appreciate their natural hair. They'd rather go get some damn blonde hair. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with your blonde hair if you want to look cute or whatever. But at the same time, don't pretend like your natural hair is not beautiful at the same time. You understand? So basically what I wanted everybody to know is the next time you see somebody struggling, instead of judging, just try to understand. Instead of assuming, just ask, what's wrong? Is there any way I can help you? Something positive instead of judging somebody. But the truth is, we're not better than the person that we judge. We are not no better than them. We just in a different chapter of life. And guess what? Guess what? I just said we in a different chapter of life. And guess what? Life has a way of turning pages. Life has a way of turning pages. You could be up one day, you could be down the next day. I hope what I'm saying in this video changed the way that some people may think. I know it may not be a lot of people viewing this video tonight, but in the future, I hope this can change somebody's life and the way that they think on somebody who they feel is beneath them. Because money don't make you no better than. You know what? When you come into this world, when you come into this damn world, what's up, Brian? He said, yeah, I remember you had a task force too. A task force. A task force? What you talking about, a task force? Oh yeah, I will take callers too. If anybody want to call in, y'all see the number scrolling across the bottom. And as y'all come in, please go and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to that YouTube channel for your boy. So, what people need to realize, a task force. I don't know what the hell you talking about, a task force. Anyway, you got to call me and let me know what you talking about, a task force. A task force. Yeah, I remember you had a task force. Oh, I don't know what he talking about. People, y'all share this video. Share this video. I'm not gonna be on here too much longer, but y'all share the video. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Understand, when we come into this world, Payless shoes. I remember now. Yeah, I remember the Payless shoes. Hey, yeah, we all did, man. Hey, my mama wasn't rich. Hey, and you know what's so crazy? As I get older, or as I've gotten older, I go back and buy all the shit that I wanted, like all the shoes that I wanted back when I was young in school that my mama like couldn't. I ain't gonna say she couldn't afford them, but maybe she could. I don't know. But I know she wouldn't buy them motherfuckers. I know whether she had the money or not. I know she wouldn't buy no $200 tennis shoes, and I salute her for that. I ain't mad at it. If you want that type of shit, you become an adult and you go buy all that shit that you want. But people need to realize, when you're born into this wild and crazy world, somebody had to change your stinking ass diaper. Somebody had to change your stinking ass diaper when you came into this world. And as you grow and get older, your body still has to do things. Well, you're gonna have some stinking shit coming out of it. I don't give a fuck who you is. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. Everybody ass gonna have some stinking shit coming out of it. And guess what? The same way you was born into this world, somebody to wipe your ass. If you live long enough and don't nothing tragically happen, and if you get to a certain age, somebody's still gonna have to wipe that stinking ass of yours. The reason why I'm talking about stinking asses, because your ass, no matter how much money you got, don't smell no better than the next person's ass. Matter of fact, that homeless person's ass might smell a little better than yours. Yeah, cologne, expensive perfume can hide a lot of shit. You feel me, y'all? Y'all rock with me now? Y'all feel me? Yeah, expensive. You can make some shit look like something. Everybody ass stink. So how can we forget where we come from? How can we look down on other people? I said earlier in the video, the nigga nation does not have a fucking military to defend us. We the only nation, and I'm talking about the nigga nation, the black people. We don't have anybody to defend our honor. We only have each other. And until black people understand that, we just a lost cause. Now, if I'm talking too much, y'all tell me. If I'm talking too much, y'all let me know. Because I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. And if I'm saying anything wrong, y'all feel free to call in and say, you a goddamn lie. You tell me the way it is. If I'm saying anything wrong, I can take constructive criticism, but I think I'm on point. For a long time, other groups of people have had their foot on our backs. They done had their foot up our ass. And the reason why that is because if we ever was to rise, if the black community was to ever rise, those other groups feel that we would mistreat them the way they've mistreated us. And that's inaccurate. The black race is not a violent race. We are violent towards each other. We are only violent towards each other. The people that we have a problem with. We don't go into schools, shoot up innocent people. We don't go into movie theaters, shooting up innocent people. We're not violent. No matter how the media, no matter how the world may make us look on a national platform, you got to block that shit out because we are not that. We are strong people that strive. We wasn't given shit. We ain't never been given shit. We didn't get our 40 acres and a mule. Everything we got that we earned. Ain't nobody gave us shit. So we got to remember that and pass that on to other people. Me doing this podcast, I'm not going to keep it a secret. I'm not going to not share information of how I do this shit. You know what I'm saying? You share your information. You want to see somebody build off of you because you can sit back. Even if you're not successful with it, you can sit back like, damn, I gave that little nigga right there the game, and look at him now. Man, I'm so proud of him. You feel me? I'm proud of him for what he's doing. Even though I might not be a part of that through the public, but in the background, I'm part of that because I showed him how to operate the shit. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So they gonna always try to keep their foot on our necks. They gonna always try to keep their foot up our asses because we allow them to. Because they scared if the tables turn of what we may do or how we may mistreat them and their grandkids, their kids coming up later on, years later. But we just not built like that. We just built like that towards each other. Black people, a lot of people always say we can never do nothing. We can't never rise. We can't never do this. You a goddamn lie. If you feel that way, that it's something that we can't do, you need to stay the fuck away from me. If you feel it's something that we can't do as a group, as a unifying force, stay far the fuck away from me. Because it ain't nothing that we can't do. Look, we done already did on our own. Fuck you mean we can't do such and such? Look at Iran. A lot of people didn't think Iran would last over a week fighting. Look what they doing now. Look at them. They giving you the blueprint. It's all, some people got to die. But if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And if you don't stand for something, your kids, your grandkids got to fall for anything. So you can't be scared. If you want some true freedom, you can't be scared to sacrifice your life. Life is way beyond you. Life is more than what you are. Yeah, trucking boss. I feel you. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be around nobody that tell me what we can't do. And to the white people, that might be that like to listen to me. Well, really, any racist white people that might, I don't think any racist white people come on here though. Because all the people that I know, I'm cool with them, and I don't think none of them is racist. But to the racist white people that might get a hold to this video, let me tell you something real quick. To the racist white people. Especially the ones with one tooth. The ones with one tooth in their mouth. What do you gain? Well, let me ask you a question. What do you gain from your racism? What do you gain from your racism? Do your racism allow you a better chance to go and get a loan to buy a house? Do your racism keep you, do black people keep you from getting a job? Are we interfering with you buying a house or anything? We don't interfere with what y'all got going on. We only mind our business, and then if it's some violent accidents, it's amongst each other. Now, you may have some isolated incidents. Well, this black person got out of hand. Yeah. That's in every race, though. But as a whole, we don't really bother nobody. But I just want to know, when these people be racist towards us, what do they gain from it? You got people higher up, rich people that would mislead the average American citizen and make them think that the black person is in the way of them getting what they need to get in life. They will, the higher ups will make the average white person feel like a black person is interfering with them accomplishing the American dream. And that's not the case. Because first of all, ain't no fucking American dream no more. The American dream is gone. It's gone. You might get lucky. You might get lucky and reach that point to the American dream. I see you, Marcus. You might get lucky and cross that. But it's kind of hard to get to that American dream. The goddamn houses, so expensive. Y'all, I ain't got to explain this to y'all. Y'all know what we going through right now. We going through a goddamn war that ain't benefiting no American. This war is not benefiting no American by no means. And anybody who think it do, you are a total piece of shit. You are uninformed, uneducated, and you are basically a person that should have been aborted. If you think this war is benefiting the American people, why is the fucking gas going up? They just went over there to Venezuela, took all they oil and shit. So why is the gas going up over here in America? So can somebody tell me? You say Donald Trump will get on TV and say, we don't need the oil from the Strait of Hormuz. We don't need the oil. Well, we don't need it if we got plenty like you say we got. You say we got plenty goddamn oil over here in America. Well, why the goddamn prices going up on the goddamn gas? Somebody answer that for me. Tired of playing games with these folks. These folks are full of shit, and they'll make you believe anything. You turn on goddamn CNN, you turn on Fox News, you turn on whatever that fucking shit is. You turn on any of these national medias, they'll make you believe anything. That's why Y'all need to stay tuned to DM the Plug, because DM the Plug gonna give you the real breakdown on what's going on in this goddamn wild and crazy world. You know what I'm saying? Share the goddamn video for your boy. Share the video for your boy. And go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll never mislead nobody. If I can't get on here and tell you the truth, some common knowledge. What's up, brother? What's up? The truth. If I can't come on here and give you some common knowledge or tell you the truth, I'm not gonna tell you nothing. One of my friends called me and they say they need some advice about a situation, about whatever, their job, their kids, their marriage, or whatever they need. If I can't give you no good advice, I'm not gonna give you nothing. But see, a lot of people will feed you some advice. They'll give you some advice to what's the word I want to use? See, people have agendas. They might tell you to go do such and such, and they have an agenda because they want you to do such and such because they gonna get something out of what you did. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful. You gotta surround yourself with genuine people. If you surround yourself with people who want something in life, that will inspire you to do something in life. If you surround yourself with people who want something in life, that will inspire you to do something in life. Now me, I'm a loner, but I get inspired by a lot of shit that I just don't speak on a lot of times. I got friends that's doing good and I'm very proud of them. They do what works for them. I do what works for me. Whatever works for somebody else don't mean it works for me. You know what I'm saying? Person might come back and want to do podcasts. That don't mean it worked for them just because it worked for me. You know what I'm saying? But the main idea, what I want y'all to understand tonight on this show, and another thing, I'm glad y'all tuning in. I got some people that I don't think ever tuned in, and I'm glad y'all tuned in to watch your boy DM the Plug do his motherfucking thing. You hear me? As a race, we got to do better. I don't see the point in talking bad about somebody when they asking you for help. Another thing, when somebody asks you for something, they ask you because they feel secure. They feel like you are close enough to them that they can ask. It's not everybody else's business. Somebody asks you for something, you ain't got to go tell it to the world that they asked you for something. If somebody asks you for $100, they need $100, you ain't got to go share that to the goddamn world. You can keep it amongst the group, the immediate friends, but you ain't got to go tell Pookie and Ray Ray, all these outside motherfuckers, what's going on in our family business. You did. We just try to destroy each other in so many ways that it don't even make no fucking sense. And I can't see how the fuck we still in this situation after all these centuries, decades. And we know what's going on. We see it, we watch it, we hear it, and we know what's going on. And we know how to fix it. We just scary. Iran gave you the blueprint. Iran gave you the blueprint. I'm going to be careful what I say. That's something that you need to go do your homework on and think about what I just said. Iran gave you the blueprint. Don't let that go across your head. If you want something, if you want your daughters and your granddaughters and your grandsons to come up in a world, in a more pleasant world, in a pleasant world that they can just live life, then it's up to us, the adults who's living now, to make it to where they can live that life. If we just fold and just turn on each other all the time, if we just fold and always attacking each other, if we always just fold and attack each other, we'll never get nothing accomplished. But we so quick to, your chest get all big. Your chest get all big when it's somebody your same skin color. Oh, you all macho man and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody be all tough when it's towards each other. Iran gave you the blueprint. Share this video. Share this video. And let everybody know that Iran gave you the fucking blueprint. Now, if you use it, if we use it, it's up to us. You can take a horse to the water. You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. You did? What's up? What's up? Pew, how you doing, brother? So, the next time you see somebody, or if you witness somebody looking down on a person that's less fortunate, especially if they're with you, you need to distance yourself from them. I'm going to tell you why you need to distance yourself from them. Because anything in your life can change. Something in your life. See, that person probably around you because everything good with you. But if you was to fall on your ass, would that person still talk about you? Would that person talk about you the same way they talking about that person in front of that curb store? See, your whole life can change overnight. We were the blueprint once upon a time. Yeah. So anybody talk bad about a less fortunate person, just know that your life can change and that one day that person could be talking about you. Yeah. And they'll turn their back on you immediately. That's why I don't fuck with a lot of people. Everybody that I see on this goddamn comment thing, these people that I've grown up with in my life, and I'm pretty positive that I'm gonna leave this world, this earth, with none of us having no problems. I see all y'all. I see Brian. I see Danielle. I see Trucking Boss. I see Tavares Pugh. Never had no problem with none of y'all. And I think, I know I'm gonna leave this world without looking down on y'all or having no problems with y'all. Because I don't base my life on problems. And if we can't get along, I can distance myself. But I ain't gonna talk bad about you, even if you fall flat on your ass. If I can't come help you, build you back up, I ain't got shit to say. Yo, sometimes a person's words don't matter. If you ain't lifting nobody up, your fucking words do not matter. So shut the fuck up and quit judging people. We were the blueprint once upon a time. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. We were. We got it. Like I said, y'all, I'm taking call-ins. Anybody want to call in, feel free. Because I feel like I'm talking too much. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking too much. But I'm saying some grade A shit. I ain't gonna lead nobody down the wrong path. One thing I'm certainly not gonna do. And once again, I respect y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in and listening. Anybody want to call in? And you may make a goddamn light bulb in my head turn on. You might say something that I never thought about. You know what I'm saying? Like, made me think like, damn, for real? You know what I'm saying? So enlighten me. I ain't too grown or too masculine to where I can't learn nothing. I ain't got to that point in life to where I can't learn nothing from nobody. People are, I'm grown. You can't, what the fuck you mean you grown? It's motherfuckers 70, 80 years old that still learn something every day. You in your 30s, 40s, and you think you can't be told nothing? What the fuck? I'm grown, I'm grown. What the fuck do that mean? What does that mean, you grown? That just means you are grown as of a number, like you're over 21. Okay, just because you're over 21 don't mean you're grown, because a brain is not fully functional until the age of 25. Your brain is not fully functional until the age of 25. So just because you think you 21 can go in a liquor store, can go in a strip club, and can stay out all night past the street lights, that does not make you grown. What makes you grown is this right here. This is what makes you grown. You were cut from that type of cloth, bro. We just wasn't raised like that. You not talking too much. You saying what needs to be said. Thank you, brother. Oh, man, I just get so frustrated, man, how we treat each other, man. I really do. And I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect by no means. But I would never look down on somebody because they have less than what I have. Because I've been there. Never had, I was at that point. I still ain't got shit. Still ain't got a goddamn thing. And even if I was to become a billionaire, me and my soul, the way I am, I ain't built, like he just said. I'm not built to look down on nobody else. I can only help somebody, give them some structure, and try to help elevate them. That's all I can do. And that's what we need to do as a whole human race. Not just race, a whole human race. But, you know, some people don't accept us. You got a lot of races that don't accept us, and that's cool. They ain't got to. They ain't got to accept us. Just leave us the fuck alone. It's amazing how some people don't like black people, but they always want to come around black people and start shit. You know, you at a barbecue in the park, you know, you had these Karens, they want to come to the park, say, oh, you're not supposed to be here. You're barbecuing, you're not supposed to be here. Well, we over here minding our business, and you 50 feet away from us. If you don't like us that much, why the fuck do you come 50 feet over here to bother us? It don't make sense. It just don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like somebody, I ain't finna go, I don't give a fuck what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Man, this world, man, this is a crazy world we living in, y'all. Man, I love y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love y'all. Everybody who's in here. Even the people that might watch this video tomorrow. Y'all share the video, please. Oh, man. I feel like peace when I really do this shit. Like when I do these live streams, I feel like peace. And everybody who knows me, which is all y'all know me personally. Y'all know I'm not a person that talk a lot. I really don't talk a lot. But when I do this, I feel at peace, and I think I got a purpose, because I know I'm not sharing no misinformation, and I think I got a purpose. I just gotta catch my tone. I gotta get my tone. You know what I'm saying? Get you know, just some little small shit I gotta get together. Y'all call in, goddammit. Anybody want to call in and share some information with me? Come on. I ain't gonna be in here all night. Tell me, I want to know, what can we do? Okay, all right. What can we do? What's good? Chanel, how you doing? I don't know how much of this video that you've been watching, but I hope you're enjoying the little part that you... Damn, I done blow ashes all over the place. I hope you're enjoying the little part that you're seeing. Damn, what did I do? Oh, I thought I ended my life. All right, y'all. All right, I'm back. As y'all come in, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. For your boy. Let me know y'all appreciate what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring some structure. I got a caller, y'all. I got a caller. Yo. Tell the people where you calling from.
I'm calling from the SIP.
All right. From the SIP, huh? Let's get it. Let's hear what you want to say.
I mean, you really had said it all. You know, you said it all. You did an amazing job with the topic, and everything you said is accurate, and it's sad that we are we have we want so much, we demand so much respect from everybody else, but we don't have any for our own selves and our own people. We get so angry about how everybody else or other ethnic groups treat us, but yet we treat each other the worst. How can you want so much respect from the world and have so little for your own community and your own people?
Mm-hmm.
You want from others what you don't give yourselves.
I get that, and you know, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I
you
was
go
just gonna say, a lot of that I think a lot of it goes with personal insecurities. See, a lot of people.
Thank you,
ever heard
Chanel.
when they
Thank you,
say
Chanel. I'm listening.
that bullies are the main people that have the worst lives or going through the most? And I think some of us as a race, you know what I'm saying, we deflect on others our own insecurities, our own shortcomings about ourselves. So when you feel, I think a person that has to build themselves up by looking down on somebody else has their own lack of emotional intelligence themselves. You going through something in your own life, and instead of trying to fix what's wrong with you, you want to make somebody else feel as shitty about themselves as you feel about yourself. Because you got to be a shitty feeling person to find joy in other people's misery.
Mm-hmm.
Because who wakes up and finds joy in somebody else's misery other than somebody who's miserable themselves? I guess that's where that comment comes from. Misery loves company.
And I'm kind of on the same. I'm finna give you an example. It's like off topic, but it's basically what you're saying. Like people insecurities, and they feel secure when they talk down on others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finna tell you something. Like these guys, they be getting these gold teeth and these tattoos all over their goddamn face and neck and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's from insecurity. That's from want to look intimidating, because in their mind, and if they really evaluate their self, there are some pussies, and it's nothing wrong with it being a pussy or a civilian. You don't have to be in a gang. You don't have to be tough to survive in this world. Just be yourself. But when you go get these these tattoos, these gold teeth, and all this shit to make you look intimidating, that's because you have an inside insecurity about yourself. So you want to fool everybody else. So when people talk bad about the less fortunate people, that's an insecurity that they have amongst themselves. And I always say, if you can't help somebody, come up, you need to shut the fuck up.
And when you said that, this made me think also, a lot of times the same people who put others down because they are portraying that they have so much, ain't got shit. They be the motherfuckers be about the brokest asses, like, and you know what? Broke ain't always financial. Right. When I say broke, I'm talking about you're broke intelligently. You're broke mentally. You're broke characteristically.
Right.
You're you know what I mean? Broke don't mean you ain't got no money in your pocket. No, you're just a broken individual. Right. You're broke.
Right.
Because because the things that are really make a person who they are is not always their financial status.
Right.
It's your integrity, your dignity.
Those
go. Things make you rich. So you walk around and try to be so flashy, and I'll say this, like with some men, you know, a lot of black men, they'll have these cars that and get fellas, don't be offended. This don't go for everybody. Just for some, but some get these cars they can't afford, all this in their mouth, all this jewelry, all these, you know what I'm saying, want to point out how much their shoes cost and this and that and other to impress somebody, and you are broke in all other areas. There's nothing else about you that is rich. You don't have no character. You obviously don't have no priorities. You don't prioritize.
I always told you. I always say, if you take away Donald Trump money, what do he have?
Nothing.
He's not handsome.
Nothing.
He's not handsome. He's not smart. He don't have no integrity. He don't have no loyalty. He don't have no dignity. He don't have nothing about himself, just money that people kiss his ass over his money. You know, you got the same people that's in his cabinet ran against him his first term. And they be on TV just kissing his ass. This man talked about some of their wives, talked about them bad on a debate stage. On a debate stage on national TV. But if you hated Donald Trump so bad, but you would go settle for a job that he offered you, right? You get what I'm saying? So you don't have no fucking integrity. The United States don't. These people who's running America don't have no motherfucking integrity. If you talk about my wife, my kids, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not finna take no job from you that I don't have to take.
But that goes to what that says on your back of your wall back there that I'm looking at. What does that say?
49ers?
Above it.
Oh. If you don't know what you will do for money, you better know what you won't do for money.
That part right there. Some people don't have any integrity about themselves, and the way that they move is based on whichever direction the money is in, and they will sell their souls for a few dollars.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's sad. And a lot of times, lack of resources. You know, and you said something earlier about, you know, the black community when you said, oh my God, when you were talking about how we, you know, put each other down when that young man could have been doing anything else. He could have been robbing them, or, you know what I'm saying? For those who missed the story in the beginning. But that's sad, because anybody else would try to help and, you know what I'm saying, build that person up.
What's up, cuz? How you doing?
Like you said, he could have been doing anything else. He could have been robbing them for the money that he asked for.
Yeah, and he asked legitimately for some genuine help.
Right.
And they talk bad
to
about
get him a job.
You know?
Yes.
Black people talking
Your
bad.
own people.
Your own fucking people.
Saying, you know, and this is the kicker part of that whole scenario. They hear a man, this, what the hell does that got to mean? What does that got to do with him being a man? Everybody needs somebody sometimes.
Oh, let me take over right now. Cause I get tired of hearing that shit too. Everybody think just cause a person is a man, everything's supposed to be gravy 100% of the time. Everything ain't gravy just cause a motherfucker's a man. What? That's the stupidest. That is not logical thinking. Just cause a person is a man, they supposed to be up at all times. What if this man get into a fucking car wreck, lose half his, you know, one side of his body ain't functional no more, and he asks you for some help? See, you don't know his story. You didn't know that. So if he outside of a store asking you for money, you don't know his situation. You just judge him thinking he's a bum. Maybe the man that went to a war, had some psychological issues. You probably can't see it from the outside unless you really, really know him. But you'll judge him just cause he asked you for some money at a curb store and not knowing his fucking story.
But guess what? The true definition of a man, and you said this one time before, the fact that man did not allow pride, foolish pride, to get in his way of coming and asking for a little help. That's the true definition of a genuine, true man. Just doesn't make you less than a man because you reached out for help. It makes you a man to put your pride aside and say, hey, I fell down. Can you help me, brother? Can you help me, sister? Because it ain't the falling down that matter. It's the getting up. But see, we don't want to help each other get up. All we want to talk about is the fall down. We don't want to help with the come up, with the get up.
Right. The same
but like
way.
You said,
the same way they say it take a village to raise a child. It takes a village to keep a person up too. Got to motivate them. Got to motivate them, and not just turn your back on them. Got to motivate them. Because drug, mental health, drug abuse, it's something that if you never went through it, you don't know how it is. If you don't
That's
have no
right.
mental issues, you don't know how it is with a person.
That's right.
If a person got
That's
heart
right.
problems,
Hey, they don't know how. They don't know what that man. They denying that hip. How he took that. That might have been the last straw for him. And you laughed at him and looked at him like he was less than when he was just trying to keep himself on the straight and narrow.
what's up, Kim? I don't know if you heard me speak to you. I said, "What's up? How you doing, cuz?" But yeah, though, people face, a lot of people face, they live with demons, they live with
Mm-hmm.
pride. Like I could be going through a struggle, I could be going through my worst times, and I try not to share with nobody because when a person, sometimes a lot of people when they come, even if they was to come check on you, they come to check on you to be nosy. They ain't coming to really worry about your well-being. They just come to be nosy and hope that you down because if you down, you're not higher than them.
Yeah, some people are like that. So when you find you somebody genuine in your life, friends, family, you know what I mean, homeboys, when you know you got somebody genuine in your corner, those are you cherish those type of bonds because you're right. Some people don't care or are genuine about whether or not what you're going through. They just came to make sure that it's true. Let me see for myself that this motherfucker miserable.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. But anyway, how long I've been on this thing? I've been on here like a good.
Longer, about an hour, a little over an hour, close, push an hour.
Yeah, if I don't have no more callers, I'm gonna go and conclude this thing. I really enjoyed this topic tonight. I think this is something that need to be said, and like Brian said, he said it's something that need to be talked about and discussed. And I appreciate
Most
everybody who
definitely.
called in, well, who commented and engaged in the conversation. But y'all can call in the next time, and you can still call in tonight. Um, but yeah, anything else you want to say? I'm sitting here thinking.
Uh,
I'm sitting here thinking of
no,
it, any points that I may have
you
missed.
you nailed it tonight. You nailed it. I enjoyed the topic. You did an amazing job with delivering it.
Thank you. I appreciate your support. Yeah, I mean, like I said, is the thing. Oh, I want to ask you a question. I got a caller. Let me take this call. I got a caller.
Go ahead.
All right. Yo, tell the people where you calling from.
Louisiana, bro. What's happening?
Louisiana, what's good, bro?
What's good? Look here, man. I just want to tell you, bro, what you're doing. The topics that you're talking about, bro, are needed, man. And when I mentioned about you not being cut from that cloth, man, I know that personally, bro, because we kind of got it out the mud together, man. And I know your family, you know my family, and but I appreciate what you're doing, man. This is like a full circle for me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening. I hear you.
Okay, yeah, this is like a full circle for me, man, because I'm sitting here listening to you talk, and I'm thinking about the times, man, when I was younger, and your grandmother was walking around the house to my grandma's house. This is after your granddad passed, and it now looking back, it make me think about how the scripture tells us to take care of the widows, take care of the children without fathers, the bastard children, so to speak, man. And that's how the community was that we was raised in, man. I remember your grandmother coming to get me, coming to talk to my grandmother, say, hey, Leon, I need, your grandson to come over to the house and help me clean up, help me do some things, man. And I would go to your grandma's house and stay the whole weekend, bro. She'll feed me, I'll clean, I'll do whatever it is she need me to do. And this is early years, man. I remember doing this 5, 6, 7 years old, and that's the root of my upbringing, being in that type of neighborhood. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have a whole lot, but we had each other. So I look back at all those older people that helped raise me, helped raise you, and I think about, at the time I didn't know how valuable it was, the lessons they were teaching me. But now, as I get older, it's not hard for me not to look down on somebody. It's not hard for me not to help an elderly person, because that's just the way I was raised, and so
Right.
was you,
Right.
you
Right.
know. Um, so I'm saying that to say that a lot of what we see going on out here, man, somewhere the ball was dropped as far as like us implementing these core values into the next generation, into our children. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them how to be respectful. And also, practicing what we preach. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell my child to go out here and be respectful if I'm not respectful, if they don't see it. The
Mm-hmm.
best
Mm-hmm.
way to learn is through, experience and having an example in front of you, teaching you how to do these things. And I definitely had that. And I try to, implement those same values into my children.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that that's one of the things. Like as the world evolves, as African Americans, as we seemingly come out of our oppression, so to speak. And I say seemingly because we're really not out of it. It's just the way of keeping us oppressed has just changed.
Right.
It looks different to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So behind the scenes, though, the system is still keeping us oppressed. We live in a capitalistic society, and I always say, anytime you live in a country that's that lives on capitalism, you're gonna have people at the bottom.
Right.
You got to have people at the bottom to do all the work, so the folks at the top could benefit from this. And that's kind of how things have been for us for a very long time. And I think that, like that sister was saying earlier, she was like, being broke is not really, finances doesn't really define that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
unfortunately, a lot of our young people think that, okay, because I can pull out a rubber band full of hundreds, I'm doing okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
But that's just a lie that's been told to us. We before, we were given money with a man face printed on it. We had a bartering system. We knew how to barter. We knew how to take. I knew how to take. Our ancestors knew how to take. A set of skills and go out here and help somebody in the community. And then that person turns around and trades something to them for whatever it is that, of equal value.
Mm-hmm.
And we just don't have that no more, man. And I think a lot of it falls on, us not doing what the older people did for us. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about how much I appreciated your grandmother, Miss Josephine, your grandfather, Mr. Leroy, and how they helped me with my granddaddy. When my granddaddy was dead when I came around, my grandmother was a widow. However, if I needed a man in my life to, give me some structure, or a man, kind of tighten me up a little bit, I know Mr. Leroy would do it. If he saw me acting up around the corner or doing something I didn't supposed to do, he didn't have to go to my grandmother and tell my grandma, hey, your grandson acting up. Nah, he did what he disciplined me right then and there.
And guess what? And guess what? And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
As you an adult now, right?
Right.
Been knowing you all my life. And as a friend of yours, if I see you out doing some dirt, I'm going to tell you what you're doing.
Amen to that.
Because if I didn't tell you, I wouldn't be having no consideration or no concern about your well-being. Right?
Right. Right.
And
right.
yeah,
that's right. We should hold each other accountable, man.
And you said something earlier about America being a capitalist country, and that's a well-known fact that this is a capitalist country. And you want to know something about a capitalist country?
What's that?
See, a lot of people don't understand when we say capitalist, that means they capitalize off of money. It's all about money. That's what a capitalistic country is.
Exactly.
It's about money. Exactly. So when anytime you hear a person talking about a capitalistic country or whatever, it's all about the money. The money is more important than the people. They are more concerned with the money than the people.
The system. Exactly. The system is,
capitalist.
It's based off capitalism.
Yeah.
and we have gotten to the point to where we feel like, okay, if this man don't have what I have materialist, the materials that I have, if he don't have the car that, that's hot right now, if he ain't got a pocket full of money, or if he ain't wearing, like you was talking about earlier, the designer clothes and things of that nature, then, you know, a lot of people will look down on them,
Right.
look at him as being worthless.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I personally, I mean, life, we all learn from experience. Life, we've all went on our own journeys. You know what I'm saying? We all been through it, been on roller coasters, and have had our ups and downs. And I pray that, everybody that's going through this journey in life, learn something enough to where they can pass on to the next generation,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what's needed. We have to be selfless and be willing to sacrifice, because I know that I'm not going to be around here forever.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is that when I walk out my house and I see young men, whether they white, black, whoever, whatever race or color they are, I have something that I can give them, whether they value it at that moment or not.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that I give them something that sticks to them, to where they say, man, I remember that strange man or that stranger, said something to me like that. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I understand what he's talking about. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? We just can't be afraid to do it. We got to have the courage, just like what you're doing now, getting online on a public media platform and talking your talk. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to agree. Some people's going to, look at you and say, well, man, I remember he did this, or I remember he did that. And not, they're going to look at the glass half empty
Right.
versus half full. Okay, well, look at the man for who he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what he's trying to do. Listen to the words that he's speaking. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Are you this critical against somebody that's feeding your grandma crack? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do you walk up to him and say, criticize him or judge him? Probably not. But somebody that's trying to do something good, it's just easier to be critical against people that you think that's not going to come back or respond in an aggressive way.
Right.
But bro, keep doing what you're doing, man. I've been watching your page, for the last, I don't know, couple of months or so, man, and I like it, bro. I like the theme, DM the plug. I personally know you, so I know how your conversation is.
And just
So,
because I
bro,
got the
I just
plug
want-
on my name don't mean I'm selling no motherfucking dope. I ain't selling no dope.
Man, we already know that, bro. For those who know, we know. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Right.
This is a catch and play. And the thing about it, being a plug ain't always got to be dealing with drugs.
Boy,
know what I'm saying?
you
Being a
intelligent.
plug
You
could be-
you intelligent enough to know.
Exactly.
You intelligent
For sure.
enough to know.
For sure. And as far as all that go, as far as, since we brought it up, as far as like what a lot of our kids and young adults are exposed to in the black community, I mean, that's what we're exposed to, bro. You know what I'm saying? You walk out your front door, if that's what's going on in your neighborhood, if those are the resources in your neighborhood, I mean, dude, I'm not judging nobody that done got involved in whatever. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have, but I'm just letting you know that, man, people do what they have to do to make it. However, I don't think it's something that, we shouldn't be glorifying the darker things that go on in the black community. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we all fell victim at some point by default. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what was glorified. You don't hear people glorifying being a doctor no more, being a lawyer, or remember black. And maybe they do as kids. I don't know, but I remember, the days when I was coming up, it was cool to say you wanted to be a doctor. It was cool to, like what you said earlier, being a civilian. At one point, it was cool.
Hey, you know what though?
Now,
what though? When and this goes back to when we look down on other people. We look down on people who's less fortunate. Well, I don't. I'm just saying us as a race.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Well, people don't have the common sense or the mental capacity to realize that some of the people that you look down on are essential workers. If you didn't have people on the back of garbage trucks, if you didn't have people working at McDonald's, you get what I'm saying? Like, how would you make it?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So how would you go get that quick meal at McDonald's if a person took what you saying about them, you looking down on them, and they quit their job, and everybody quit their job at McDonald's or stop picking up your trash? How would you survive? You get what I'm saying? Like everybody play a role. Everybody's not born. Everybody's not born to be rich. Everybody has a role, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with trying to get rich. There's nothing wrong with trying to be successful, but you can't look down on the ones, because without those people coming to pick up your trash, your motherfucking house will be funky. You'll have maggots all around your motherfucking house. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, don't never look down on nobody, man.
Everybody, it's important to the ecosystem in one way or another. It's just unfortunate that we don't value it within our own community. You know what I'm saying? And I think honestly, bro, I think that the way this system is and the way the world is going, nobody's gonna do it for us. You know what I'm saying? We gotta come together and become a real community again. You know what I'm saying? Become family again. You know what I'm saying? Not be afraid to go help out, this strange person in your neighborhood. And it's just, the way things are, it's so much fear has been put into people to where it's like folks don't even, back in the day, you could just catch a ride somewhere, man. A stranger will give you a ride. You
right.
can't, you really can't do that these days, man. And rightfully so, But I think it's our responsibility, man, to have conversations like this, and put actions behind our words, and really try to implement, a more positive outlook in our community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Encouraging a kid, letting them know, hey, you may be from the projects, but guess what? It doesn't have to end there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You was talking about insecurities earlier. I mean, man, the way this system is, man, and the psychological warfare that's going on in the world, I mean, those insecurities are put into kids, from the time they come out the mother's womb.
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying? Because, I mean, those insecurities, these games are even played on the mind of the mothers. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You watching TV, the mother watching TV, she see, this beautiful family, the mother and father and the child, and, they having all these beautiful moments. However, she's sitting there in birth alone. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Man, all these things play a role, man. And then, some of our psychological trauma is just passed on from generation to generation, really unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not be the mother intentions to pass on or the father intentions to pass on any type of insecurities to their children. However, because of their struggles, I mean, you hear it a lot. I mean, I've seen and personally, I went off on an adult because I sat there and watched them, tear a kid down, for no reason. This kid was so proud and said, I want to do this, I want to, and, this grown woman, she was mixed. She sat there and belittled this kid. I mean, I could see the disappointment in this child's face from listening to this adult pretty much tell her that she wasn't gonna be shit.
Because people,
You know what I'm saying?
people, that's another thing that I have a problem with. People talk to these kids as if they're not human. Like, kids have feelings.
As they're not kids, period.
Huh?
I say they talk to them as if they're not kids, period. As if they already have the experiences of life,
right,
and understanding to be able to handle the things you tell them.
Right.
You got to be gentle with them.
Exactly.
It's a time for everything. It's a time to be gentle. It's a time to be strict. You have to have that discernment to know, okay, when is the right time for me to say this, or when is the right time for me to pull back.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I'm with you all the way. You know, like I said, I be seeing people, they treat kids as if they're inhumane, as if they're a
That's
fucking
right.
animal, and that's crazy. Like that's fucking child. That child will resent you as they get older.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm not saying this just because it's cliche. We was raised in a church, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, I didn't really understand some of the values that the Bible have in it, right? I'm just listening to a preacher. It's just a routine thing. I'm in church, vacation Bible school, whatever. We was right down the street from it, in it every time the doors open. But as I got older and I began to look at the scriptures as, okay, Jesus was a man just like me. He says that all the time. He refers to himself in the scriptures as the Son of Man all the time. And so, I look at some of the things that he experienced, some of the things some of the other men experienced. I'm like, dang, these things that's in here are the same thing that we're going through today. You get what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's very empowering to read, okay, to feel like, man, Jesus, I can relate to you on that.
Right.
Or Solomon, I can relate to you on that. Or David, I can relate to you on that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because, they were men in the flesh just like us.
Right.
So was Jesus. And it's like when you understand that we're all under the same sun, moon, and stars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When we die, we're all going to go through whatever the process is after life here on earth. And it's like, why would I waste my time trying to, belittle somebody else? Just like that sister said earlier, some people get joy from other folks' misery. That is a low of the low right there.
Exactly.
If I ain't got nothing good for you, I'm gonna tell you something. When I was living in Jackson, man, and again, I'm not glorifying this, but this cat was a street dude. This dude told me plenty of money, well respected. He told me, he said, B, listen, man, he said, and if you ain't from somewhere like I'm from Mississippi, so you know how the reputation somewhere like Jackson has in Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you would think that with it being Jackson is if it's not the blackest city in America, it's one of the black as far as percentage wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 80-some% black or something. And I got kids up there, family up there. So it's I love it. And to hear this brother out the street tell me, he said, B, he said, man, if I can't help you, I'm not gonna hurt you. You get what I'm saying? He's
Mm-hmm.
like, if I do what I do, but he's like, I'm not here to hurt you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if I can't help you, then I'm gonna just go on by my way. Because it's not doing me any good to hurt you. What I'm getting from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And from that day forward, there was a level of respect, and it gave me another perception of a lot of cats, that's in the street, or so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just unfortunate that we don't have this type of dialogue to get an understanding of each other.
Yeah, I don't feel like a lot of times we have patience with each other.
That's true too. That is 100% true.
Because I think any street dude, I done been in the streets my life. And
Right.
something had to change in my life. It had to be like something in my life that happened to make me realize, hey, this ain't what it is. And a lot of times those guys in those streets, they ain't came across that point in life that make them think. Like, you got a lot of guys that go to prison and they see things in prison, they be like, damn, I may need to change some up. This ain't what it is. But fortunately for me, I didn't have to go to prison to realize that the streets don't love me. The streets ain't never gave me shit. The streets ain't gonna never be there to support me. Everybody who support me on this podcast, they not street people. They are people who want to see another man make it. But the street people want to tear you down because the streets are evil, and you can't surround yourself around demonic vibes. You know what I'm saying? I said earlier, I don't know how much of this video you watch, but I said if you surround yourself with positive people, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be a positive person. If you surround yourself with crack addicts, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be a crack addict. Or if you surround yourself with thieves, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be a thief. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I really stay to myself. But when I do socialize with people, I like to be around well-groomed, intelligent
peaceful individuals.
Right, right. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, you know, I already know, man. I'm watching it because I know you got something good to say, or you got something I want to hear. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't even have to be this platform. You know, I'll pull up to your crib and we'll sit there and chop it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I already know what kind of cloth you cut from, man. And I just wanted to say, bro, I appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep doing it, because I'm like, you know what? If I can sit here and listen to, because I love podcasts, man. You know, I actually got the equipment to do one myself, man. Been had it for a minute, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that if I can sit and listen to podcasts of men that, you know, I don't even know personally, you know, I could definitely sit and listen to somebody that I know personally and support them. And just, and I don't have pride doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I want to, there's any pride, it's good pride, because I'm like this, if anybody from Laura, Mississippi can take a podcast and make it blow, I'm sure there's plenty of people can do it, but I know that I feel like you one of the brothers that could do something like that. And it's not about just being from Laura and making a name for yourself. It's about really saying something that's going to hit home and really, plant some seeds in these youngins out here. And then as they grow, the seeds that you planted in them, other people can bear the fruit of whatever grow from them. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we got to be on, man. We got to understand that, hey, we're not here forever. We have to pour into the next generation. How many of us look back and say, man, I sure wish my granddaddy would have, I sure wish, so if I'm sitting back looking saying, man, I wish life could have been a little bit more easier from the decisions my family made, then guess what? I can make better decisions now so life can be easier for my kids.
There you go.
Or anybody else that I may affect. You get what I'm saying?
There you go. You just said a mouthful.
I'll die a happy man if I see that, okay, my kids, not just my kids, not just my blood and flesh, anybody, any youngin out here, has grown and can look back and say, hey, man, you gave me something that I could use in life.
Hey.
As small as it may be, you gave me something that I can use out here in this world. You see what I'm saying? And I think, unfortunately, we think it's money. We think money run out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
money run out.
One of my favorite sayings is, if you don't know what you will do for money, you better know what you won't do for money. So let's say if I get shot.
I heard you say that earlier. That was my first time hearing it, and I'm gonna use that. That's powerful.
So let's say if I get shot and I'm like 2 breaths away from dying. And if somebody there trying to put a what you call them things when they try to cover your wound up, what you call it?
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they working on it.
Yeah. So the same people that's working on my body, trying to heal me up and try to get me right to survive. If I can, even if I know I'm finna die, but if I can say any quote or any word to change their life, I'm cool with it. I'll go in peace. I'll die in peace, knowing that I saved a soul.
Amen to that. And guess who else did that?
Who?
Guess who else did something like that?
Who?
Jesus of Nazareth.
There you go.
Jesus of Nazareth. He said, forgive them, they do not know what they do.
There you go.
Even at the end of that man's fleshly life, he was still praying for, his adversaries.
Right.
Now, listen, man, we can go on and on and on, man, about those type of examples, man. But we know they're there, and we know it's real. And you just said it out of your own mouth. It's in your heart, man. So, um, again, bro, I appreciate what you're doing, man. I've been watching your channel for a few months now, man. Continue doing what you're doing, man. I'm gonna keep chiming in, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I hope you continue to watch, man. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. Hot Topics with DM the Plug.
For sure.
And it's been good talking to you, man. I know I ain't seen you in a while, but we grew up together. We ain't ever had no problems with each other. It ain't nothing but love. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's all love, bro. It's we family, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Man, listen, bro. It ain't no doubt in my mind. Listen here, bro. I listen to some of the old school music I listen to now because of Peggy. You get what I'm saying?
And you said something earlier that I didn't even know. I ain't know you used to go over there and help my grandparents. I ain't know that.
Man, listen here, man. I stayed at Miss Josephine's house, bro. I stayed. I mean, it was right around the corner. It wasn't nothing I get off of school on a Friday. My grandma telling me you're going to stay with Miss Josephine for the weekend. All right, cool. I go over there and, hey, I was obedient. You get what I'm saying?
Your mama, my mama used to hang out back in the day. They used to go to the clubs and shit.
Listen here, bro. I already know, bro. Come on, bro.
Hey, guess what they used to send me? They used to send me to my grandparents' house when they go clubbing, when they go partying.
Listen here, man. Listen here, bro. I don't know if you remember the last time I went to your house, man. It was I like to come home, bro, and visit family and especially like friends and people that I hadn't seen in a while, man. I remember walking in your house, man, and I don't know if you remember this, but I went straight to Scotty room, man. I said, this was Scotty room right here. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't around when Scotty passed away, but, Scotty was there every day. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that touched me too, man. I mean, that was your brother, but at the same time, it impacted my life as well. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here reading a comment that somebody they watching it live and they sent me a comment on my phone, so I'm sitting here reading. But I'm listening to you though.
Yeah, bro. But that's all I wanted to say, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. I think I've been on here for about a good damn near 2 hours, so I'm about to conclude this video. I hope you continue to watch, man, and I'm glad to hear from you, bro. I hope you safe. Where you staying tonight, anyways?
I'm in Louisiana.
Okay.
I ain't too far from you, man. We'll chop it up.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. I hope you be safe out here, man. This wild and crazy world, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro. You too, man.
All right, I'm about to conclude this thing. All right.
Yeah.
Yo. So, man, it's good to hear from these guys, these ladies and gentlemen that I ain't heard from in a while that call in. It's good to hear their voice. I hope that y'all got a lot out of this conversation that we had tonight with my dialogue and the callers that's calling in. I hope that somebody took something from this and maybe can share it with some other people. Share the video to some younger people. Maybe they can get some out of it, because that's what we're here for. We're here to save the youth. We done had our youth. We done got past our youth. We survived. So it's now time to pass this knowledge on to the younger people. But if y'all don't get nothing out of what I said tonight, or what any caller said tonight, I want you to get one thing. If you don't get nothing else, I'm finna look into your eyes and tell you this. I'm gonna look into your eyes as a race of black people, and even as a race of white people. You need to understand something. The caller just said this is a capitalist country. If it ain't about the money, the government don't give a fuck about you. You think those rich people give a fuck about you? You think rich people give a fuck about you or how you survive, how you eat, how you get to work, how you pay your medical bills, even if you get some medical treatment? You think they give a fuck? No, they don't. They just feeding you to this like such and such and feeding this people to dislike such and such. But at the end of the day, they keep us amongst each other in a beefing vibe while they still gaining power and money. A lot of people don't know. Donald Trump in 1 year, this second term he's had, in 1 year, this man he's made so much money than all the presidents combined with his scandals. With his scandals. So you white people that's living in trailer parks that talk down on black people, that you hate us for our skin color, ask yourself, what is the racism doing for you? What is it doing for you? Do you think the American government give a damn about you? Black people, ask yourself, what do you gain from talking down on other black people that's less fortunate than you? What do you gain from that? When you talking down on less fortunate black people, that's not gonna increase your pockets. It's not gonna decline your pockets. So why do it? Why feed into the negativity? Why feed into the bullshit? One thing we gotta understand, humanity. Humanity. It's not about a color. It's not about a social status. It's not about a financial status. It's about maintaining humanity, civility, integrity, prosperity. Damn, I'm using words that I ain't even know that I knew. I'm using words that I didn't even know that I do. Prosperity? If you don't know what it means, go look it up. I know what it means. I just never used that word, prosperity. But anyway, y'all, I appreciated talking to y'all tonight. I enjoyed the topic, and I thank everybody for calling in. And I hope this channel grow, that'll reach out in a broader area and get the attention of people, because it's all positive over here. It's all love. It's positive. We don't speak on no bullshit. We don't speak negative on nobody. We don't disrespect no group of people. Everybody is welcome on my channel. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for watching, and I'm out of here, y'all.